Apart from the 5 different types of plasmids, whether the plasmid can be transferred from one bacterial cell to another bacterial cell, from this topic we can differentiate plasmid into 3 different types. One is the conjugative plasmid, another is the mobilizable plasmid, and the third one is the self-transmissible plasmid. So how can one classify plasmids on the basis of conjugative, mobilizable and self-transmissible? It is dependent on whether the plasmid is able to be transferred from one bacterial cell to another bacterial cell via conjugation. For example, if you can see in this particular diagram, there is a donor bacteria which is the F plus bacteria, F plus donor. That means it should have a F plasmid. As you can see, it is the F plasmid, and that is it is called F plus donor. And this is another bacteria which lacks the F plasmid, and as a result it is known as the F minus recipient. So it is the F plus donor, means it can donate this plasmid. F stands for fertility factor. So the F stands for fertility factor. So if a bacteria have that fertility factor, or the F plasmid, is known as the F plus bacteria or F plus donor, and if the bacteria lacks that plasmid, it is known as the F minus bacteria. So if I take one F plus bacteria and mixed with another F minus bacteria, what will happen? This F plus donor plasmid will make a copy, and after making the copy, this copy will be transferred via conjugation tube. So this is a fusion. As you can see, the two bacteria must be separated away initially, and now they have somehow made a conjugation tube via formation of pilus, or you can say pili. Pili is a plural term, pilus is a singular term. So via formation of the pilus or pili, they can actually conjugate together, and via this conjugation tube the donor bacteria can make a copy of the plasmid and can transfer to the recipient bacteria. So after getting transferred, the recipient bacteria now have the F plasmid, and therefore the recipient bacteria is now also the donor. So originally this left side bacteria was the donor, and the recipient bacteria lacks the F plasmid initially, but after this conjugation tube formation, this recipient bacteria gets that F plasmid from the donor, basically a copy, not the F plasmid, it is a copy of the F plasmid, because after the conjugation, the donor also retains the copy of the plasmid. As you can see, the donor also retains the copy of the plasmid, but a copy of the F plasmid is getting transferred to the recipient cell, and now the recipient becomes the donor. So this is a very simple diagram by which you can say that if I take, say, one molecule of one F plus donor and say 300 F plus recipient bacterium, so after mixing for some time you will have 301 donor bacteria, because no recipient will remain as recipient. After all the recipient, after getting the plasmid from the donor cell, becomes the donor again. Okay, so this is a very simple kind of demonstration that how the F minus bacteria, after getting the F plasmid, becomes the donor again. But according to this diagram, we have to consider something. One, this pilus formation is absolutely vital, because without that pilus or pili formation, the two bacteria cannot actually come in close proximity. The two bacteria cannot join together. So formation of pilus is very much essential for the conjugation. So if a bacteria can manufacture those protein, if a bacteria can synthesize those protein that are required for this pilus formation, they are called conjugative plasmid. So this is the point. There are 3 different types of plasmid. The first one is conjugative plasmid. Conjugative plasmid means this plasmid must encode certain genes whose product is required for the formation of the pilus. Okay, so it is a plasmid that carries gene that determine the effective contact function. It means the two bacteria via the conjugation tube must come in close proximities. So in a simple word, a plasmid is said to be conjugative plasmid if the plasmid encoded genes are absolutely essential for the pilus formation. Okay, so if this F plasmid can transfer from the donor to the recipient bacteria, and if the F plasmid carries those genes for the formation of the pillars, because initially say this is the donor bacteria and this is the recipient bacteria, they are far apart, and they now must close enough so that they can make some conjugation tube. So those genes that are actually required for the formation of this conjugation tube, which is also called the pilus or pili, plural pili, singular pilus, that particular thing is, if made by the plasmid, then the plasmid is called the conjugative plasmid. So now what is conjugative plasmid I have explained. The second part, that after formation of this conjugation tube, what we need to make a nick in the single stranded outermost DNA, because plasmid is a double stranded DNA. We have to make a single stranded nick. So after, say, this is the initial structure, initially it was a circular structure X, and when I make a nick, so this nicking actually causes the generation of one side, that is the 5' end, and another is the 3' end, according to this picture. And if I can make this 3' end, okay, I can transfer this 5' end, this, as you can see, I am transferring this 5' end via the conjugation tube into the recipient bacteria. So say this is the picture, the innermost DNA is okay, but the outermost DNA has somehow transported. So this is the 5' end that has been transported, and this is the 3' end. Okay, so because we know that the 3' end must have an exposed OH group, the 3' end of DNA have an exposed OH group, so DNA polymerase can synthesize a new DNA at that position. It means whatever the DNA that has been transferred, it has been already being replicated by the original bacteria. So as a result, after transferring the copy of the outermost DNA to the recipient cell, as you can see, it is transferring the outermost DNA to the recipient cell. The recipient cell have the only one copy of the DNA. So ultimately the diagram must be something like that. This is the first DNA, innermost DNA. The outermost DNA must be, now it is a new blue colored DNA because it has been biosynthesized, and the recipient cell now have only that one DNA, so that from that DNA recipient cell can make a new DNA molecule, double stranded DNA molecule. So to do this, what we need to start transferring from a particular region, right? We need to cleave the DNA and start transferring from a particular region. So for this, all the plasmid that can be transferred from a donor bacteria to the recipient bacteria must have the TRA origin. So TRA stands for transfer origin, TRA origin or transfer origin. So TRA is a gene, that is a transfer origin from where the DNA can be transferred from one bacterial cell to the another bacterial cell. Because we cannot transfer from any part of the DNA, we have to transfer from the TRA origin, from where this DNA can be transferred. So if a bacterial plasmid, if a plasmid have the TRA origin, it is called the mobilizable plasmid. You have to consider this thing. We are taking the example of mobilizable and conjugative plasmid. We have already explained conjugative plasmid means. Conjugative plasmid means a plasmid that can make that particular PD, which is the essential thing. And after formation of the PD, they have to make a nick and they have to transfer the plasmid to a recipient cell. So if they can make a nick, that means they have a protein that can make a nick and they can transfer that particular DNA from donor bacteria to recipient bacteria. That particular plasmid is called a mobilizable plasmid. So mobilizable means it can move from donor to the recipient bacteria because it has the TRA origin. So mobilizable plasmid can prepare its DNA for transfer. They can have the protein, they can have those protein, they can biosynthesize those protein that is essential for the transferring the DNA from the donor cell to the recipient bacteria. And now the third one, that is a self-transmussal plasmid, is very simple. Self-transmussal means conjugative plus mobilizable. Self-transmussal plasmid means a plasmid that carries the PD encoded gene plus the TRA gene also. The PD encoded gene means they can make effective contact function, that is the conjugative plasmid, and they can transfer their DNA to the recipient cell because they have the TRA origin, so it is a mobilizable plasmid also. So self-transferable plasmid such as F plasmid is both conjugative and mobilizable. So these are the three types of plasmid that can be present in a bacteria depending on whether the plasmid can be transferred from the donor bacteria to the recipient bacteria. So from this particular point, you have to consider another thing. Consider two examples. One is the F plasmid already being discussed. The F is both conjugative and mobilizable. That means F can make their own pili so that they can transfer, they can conjugate with that recipient cell. And F can also mobilizable plasmid. F is also mobilizable plasmid. That means F have the TRA origin from where the DNA can be transferred. But we are taking another example that is called COL-E1. COL-E1 is mobilizable but non-conjugative. This is a very vital line. COL-E1 is mobilizable but non-conjugative. Mobilizable means they have the TRA origin but they cannot make the pili. So they have to wait for someone. If someone can make the pili, then the COL-E1 plasmid can be transferred from the donor bacteria to the recipient bacteria. Once again, because COL-E1 is mobilizable but non-conjugative, mobilizable means they have the TRA origin, but the non-conjugative means they are not able to make any pili. So if they are not able to make any pili, they cannot conjugate. So they need the assistance of some other plasmid. So consider if a cell carries both F and COL-E1, a cell that have both F and COL-E1. So because F is already present within the cell, F can make that pili that is not being made by the COL-E1. F can make a pili so that now the COL-E1 can start transferring their DNA to the donor cell, to the recipient cell. So in a cell containing both plasmids, both F plasmid and COL plasmid, F can provide the missing conjugative function to COL-E1, and COL-E1 can thereby be transferred to a recipient that lacks the both plasmid. That means it is a very simple thing. If a cell have only COL-E1, they cannot transfer their DNA to the recipient cell, although they are mobilizable plasmid, but they cannot transfer DNA to the recipient cell because they do not have any conjugative pili formation genes. But if a cell have both COL-E1 and F plasmid, in that case F can provide the pili so that now the COL-E1 may have the TRA origin so that they can transfer their DNA to the recipient cell. And this process where one plasmid actually helps, one plasmid means F actually helps the COL-E1, which is a non-conjugative plasmid, to be more conjugative. The process, namely in which the non-conjugative plasmid is transferred via the effective contact provided by the conjugative plasmid, this process is called the donation. It is a very important topic, donation. Donation means the F plasmid is donating the COL-E1 to the recipient cell, because normally COL-E1 cannot transfer to the recipient cell because it is non-conjugative, they cannot make the pili. Because they cannot make the pili, they cannot be transferred to the recipient cell. But now, due to the presence of the F plasmid, F can make the F can express those missing genes for the formation of the pili, so that now the COL-E1 can prepare its DNA to be transferred. So this process is called the donation.